I had an absolute blast at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I can't believe it officially started, 18 years ago? Wow. So many great things, meeting up with friends. I was at a booth for the duration of the event, so wasn't able to get out a lot. I want to thank Justin Leclerc for helping me with video footage. I met so many friends. I did debut my first Intellivision published game, and thank you to the Intellivision community for helping me with that. That was awesome. There were so many great things that I saw. The vendor hall was huge, and it was really well designed. It was much better this year, and so saw so many awesome things. Saw this Halo 2 display, pretty sweet. But Friday night, a portion of the vendor hall was available and free play, arcade, console, and so much more. Had a blast. And so I did get to step out and experience some of the show. I've been connected to the show for a long time. I help with the museum part of bringing video games, and I want to thank the Video Game History Foundation for providing amazing display, and just really like to be that part of the show now, bringing games and letting people enjoy them. So you name it, a main franchise game was at this show. There was a great Halo setup, multiple different Halo games where you could play with friends. If you're into pinball, amazing pinball setup, classic and new games from Stern. There was new X-Men pinball game. It was absolutely fantastic, and was just amazing just to walk around and see everybody enjoying gaming no matter what it was, and met up with a lot of close friends I typically only see at these expos. Can't believe it's been going on for so long. The auction was dedicated to a friend, Josh Kemp. A portion of mystery boxes were donated to his family. Josh Kemp was a friend who passed away unexpectedly, and he was friends with many people, and many of the organizers knew him well. So yeah, I just want to show kind of the show floor. Some of my footage was lost, so I apologize not showing everything of the event, and it was just kind of a bummer, but hey, those things happen. So this is the footage that remain. I still have quite a bit of footage. I had multiple memory cards using a GoPro, and just these things happen sometimes, and so I just wanted to share with what I had footage of and show all 3 days. So this was Friday. This is like before the show actually started. Pretty nuts that it was just hopping and people were having a good time. It was a really cool vibe in this vendor hall portion that was open Friday. And so here's the Atari Age booth, one of the artists there of many boxes that Albert uses in his store, Tire Tracks being one of them. And anyways, just really sweet. Had a really nice setup there where lots of different Atari games, aftermarket games, were available. But what's cool about this show is that it had some special guests that have never been at the event before that I know of. I've been every single year. So really, really sweet to meet some of the programming and gaming legends that I looked up to. And so just wanted to show some of the cool box art and the new games that Atari Age offers in person. If you don't want to deal with shipping, it's a really nice opportunity to pick up games right there. And they had a really nice display with monitors and with a lot of Commodore monitors, which look fantastic, with some modified classic consoles. So if you're old school, this was definitely one of the better booths to go to. And they have everything from 2600, 5200, 7800, Jaguar, even Lynx. And so it was just really a sweet setup, and Saturday definitely people were enjoying it quite a bit. This is Friday where they were kind of just setting up everything from Adventure 2 on the Atari 8-bit to several upcoming games too. It was kind of cool. You get to check out many games that aren't available yet. But Atari was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo with a really nice setup, the same setup they had, I do believe, at PAX West. And so, yes, there it is, the Atari 7800 Plus. Cute, and it looks fantastic. Had a great time checking it out, and really just wanted to share that footage. Played great, looked great. That wireless 7800 controller, and they debuted the 2600 wireless controller as well. So that's upcoming. I'm going to be doing a review on it, but just wanted to share a little bit. Oh my goodness, just looked awesome, and I can't wait to play test that, and I will be getting a review in it. So want to give a heads up on that. Really cool that you could come. New game, Bounty Bob Strikes Back by Robert De Crescenzo, and so really looking forward to checking that out. Here it is, and here's the wireless 2600 joystick, and there's the 7800 wireless pad. So very cool, and so I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. I have a lot of Atari fans that view my channel, and looking forward to doing a full review. And yeah, it's pretty sweet. So yeah, moving on, there was the Atari booth itself, which had a lot of the products that they had been offering the last 3 or 4 years, and it was pretty sweet with a classic setup there. But here it is on the side, pre-production box of the Atari 7800 with Bentley Bears Crystal Quest, Bounty Bob Strikes Back. But really, the PRG is about running into friends, and there's Double Jump video games. Known the owner a long time, and just a great store, great setup, super friendly too, with his plushies. And he had a nice vendor set up in the E part of the floor plan, which was open on Friday, I do believe. I think it was that was the portion that people really talked about, and there was all the auction items, and again the mystery box items were donated to Josh Kemp's family. And anyways, very sweet items. There was a bunch of stuff. There was a Magic kiosk, there was a Donkey Kong Country 2 store display. There was really some neat things, and prototype games that went for quite a bit. And so Beyond Zero Tolerance being one of them, as well as some Final Fantasy VII displays. It was gorgeous weather too. Weather was perfect. It wasn't raining. It was about 70 degrees, and really enjoyed. This is Saturday morning, and really got to hang out a little bit with John Riggs. Mostly hung out with Brett Weiss, and so but it was good to hang out with both of them, and saw Metal Jesus Rocks later. And so it was good to just meet up with friends and reminisce about old times. But if you weren't into video games, there was also a VHS swap meet, as well as the vendor who I was at. I was at their booth, Corey Strite, Vinyl Bait, and tons of VHS tapes and displays. And this was from a previous rental store, and there were so many neat things that took me back to the 80s. And there was clamshells of Disney stuff. There was like obscure stuff. There was, you name it. Vinyl Bait had it. But there was some high-end stuff there at the show. Really some classics. Everything from Atari, Nintendo, Sega, Saturn, and much, much more. So the show really had a little bit for everything. If you just wanted to play and didn't collect, you had that. Pinball had a ton of that. Classic consoles if you want to play that. But if you were a collector, they had everything from homebrew and television games. So there was a really nice setup from the Intellivision Revolution and more, and really cool games. I was debuting my own game, and so they had a Pac-Man collection, and that was really sweet to see. Really enjoyed that. Picked that up. I'm going to be doing my pickups in a separate video. And so my good friend Paul was showing that he had a very rare Atari monitor there. And so that was pretty awesome. But so whether you were into like classic computer, or you were into just handhelds, or maybe you were just dedicated to a specific console, maybe you just wanted to relive your childhood, this show has a little bit of everything. It's been around a long time, and this year was very special. It was one of the best years I think that they've had. I just think the show stepped up this year, inviting several special guests that I've never seen before. And it really offered a wide variety of entertainment to the masses. There was tournaments, there was the Tetris setup as they usually have It was fantastic. But for me, the main reason I come is... So Portland Retro Gaming Expo is about meeting up with friends, and got two great friends here.
Hello.
Eric Jensen, Justin LeClaire. Justin, first time at the show, what do you think?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Hasn't even started.
I know.
I hung out with Justin quite a bit. He's a good friend of mine, and really had just a good time going around and seeing things and showing him. It was his first show, and so showing him the many different things that were at this event. And you can't cover it in a 20-minute video and do it complete justice. There's things I'm going to be missing in this video, but I wanted to show a lot of the vendor hall, where I think the majority of the attendees are going to be wanting to know, what did the vendor hall look like? How was this year? And I think this year was excellent. I think every year has its pluses and benefits and special things. Playdate had a booth that was kind of neat, and every show has its special things, and I definitely enjoyed myself getting to walk around a little bit. I had limited time. I usually am at a booth. For people that don't know, I go around the United States, and now I even can come internationally and offer a wide variety of products. I'm an independent game publisher and offer my games at events, and it's really fun to go around to different events and offer my homebrew and aftermarket games. And so really enjoyed being at this one, debuting a Atari 7800 version of Block'em Sock'em, as well as an Intellivision version. And so my next show I'm going to be at is going to be the Video Game Summit in Chicago, and that's coming soon. That's going to be October 17th through the 19th, and can't wait. And I'm going to be there with Brett Weiss, and want to thank that event for inviting me. And just looking forward to doing some new events this next year and coming to some other ones. I am confirmed for Game On Expo, and want to say that really excited about coming back to that amazing event as well. So back to PRGE, back to the amazing event. Sean Kelly was there, and he had his amazing Vectrex booth, which has all sorts of Vectrex goodness. I did pick up something, and we'll show that hopefully in an upcoming PRGE pickups video. And so pretty sweet. Had some amazing things that I saw, and you name it. I mean, it's kind of crazy how much Vectrex support there is, considering it was a failed console that came out and was not on the market long at all, but it was so unique being a vector-based console. But just wanted to share kind of the neat things that I saw at the event, and you name it. In the comments, let me know what is the best thing that you saw in this video, and did you go to the event? Did we talk? There was even a vendor from Brazil, and NT Games was there. Saw some amazing stuff at many booths, and so it was really cool to see that. And I wasn't able to attend a lot of the panels as being at a booth the whole time, but I did go to one. I'm going to share that a little bit later in this video. Putting on a show this size takes a lot of resources, and you can go to PRGE's website, where you can find out all the contributors and sponsors that make this amazing show happen. It's quite a bit of work. It takes all year to plan. There's a lot of coordination, and I want to thank all the organizers for what they do. Dude, this guy here I remember him from Funkoland. He remembers when my collection was like 200 Nintendo cartridges. You want to share the story?
So John would come into Funkoland. I was 17-year-old, small little guy, and he would come in and just clean us out. And his goal was to build a complete Nintendo collection. And if I'm not mistaken, John, you got there, right?
I did.
Yeah,
I did, but he remembers it.
I do, man.
Thank you, props.
100%, yeah.
So it was really great to connect with people I haven't seen in many, many years. And it seems like every year someone comes up to me and remembers me from long ago. I've been doing this a long time. I want to grab some popcorn. Anyways, had that fun hat made Thank you, Game Dad. But yeah, I just wanted to just share with you a little bit of the vendor floor. This is when it was getting busy. It definitely was packed Saturday. Saturday is like the busiest day. If you want to avoid a lot of traffic, Friday is good if you want to get early deals. And then if you want to maybe work a deal out with a vendor, the best day for that is Sunday afternoon. Especially vendors that don't want to take back as many items as they brought. But yeah, overall it was pretty good. This show just seemed a lot bigger, and I think a lot of it had to do with the better floor plan. The floor plan was much better. Champ Games had a booth. Can't wait to show that. You had Audacity Games had a booth. So you had a lot of classic consoles and publishers represented, and really nice setup for all these vendors. And here's a quick show of kind of what a booth looks like at a show when I set up. Here's Brett Weiss, and he had his books. I'm going to be seeing him very soon at the Video Game Summit, and so really cool to see that. We've done several shows where we've attended the same ones. Someone pulled a fire alarm? So sad. The fire alarm ended up being from a small kitchen fire. Nobody was harmed, and everybody was out in after about an hour on Saturday. It was unfortunate, but you know what? Safety was followed. All the vendors had to leave the sales floor as well. But you know, these things happen. PRGE had nothing to do with it. They followed protocol. Got to see Jeff Minter in person. It was fantastic, and I thanked him from afar. He was just followed by an entourage, and people were freaking out. It was so nice to see Jeff Minter, and he was walking around with a local llama, and so yes, it was pretty awesome to see that. And here is the line for Nolan Bushnell. I finally got to meet him in person. He was also doing free autographs afterwards. I did attend Nolan Bushnell's panel. I could stay for about 45 minutes, and it was great to see him. He was up there with people from Atari, including Chris Kohler from Digital Eclipse, who's a friend of mine. Songbird Productions had a pretty sweet layout and offering some of their new games, and that was cool to see. And I'm looking forward to covering some of their products, as well as Champ Games. And we're going to be possibly doing a collaboration with them in the future, fingers crossed. We're in talks, nothing official yet, but yeah, really excited, and going to be covering their new game Tutankhamun in an upcoming video. Can't wait to show you that. They make quality games and fantastic. Xevious, there's a new version of that coming up out called something else, so they don't get in trouble, but fantastic to see that. You know what, and whether or not you were into old, new, classic, there was a seller that had a lot of vintage stuff. Really sweet to see that. And in the comments, let me know, what do you collect? What do you pursue? Did you go to PRGE? What was your experience? And thank you so much for viewing this video. I had a lot of fun doing it. If you like what you see, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.